Hello viewers, in this video I'm going to talk about pipeline activities and how you can use them to copy tables in Azure Data Factory. The key resources you need to master are Azure Data Factory, which you can use to do a data integration service to compose data storage, movement, and processing services into automated data pipelines. You need to master Azure Databricks for transformation, workflows, scheduling, and management. You need to master Azure Synapse Analytics. It's an integrated platform service that combines the capabilities of data warehouse, data integration, ETL pipelines, analytics tools, and services. So as a data engineer, you need to master these key resources so that you'll be able to work efficiently. As you can see from here, Azure Data Factory key components. We have pipelines. Pipelines are logical grouping of activities. This is what I mean. As you can see here, I have two activities here. These two activities make up what we call pipeline. You can have more than one pipeline in Azure Data Factory or Azure Synapse Analytics. Then we have activities. Activities are actions to be performed on a data. We have data sets. Data sets are the structure of a data within different data stores. We have link services, which are the connection strings. Integration runtime. Integration runtimes are a bridge between activities and link services, providing compute environment to run activities. Then we have data flows, which are data transformation activities. So these are the key components of Azure Data Factory. From this diagram, you can see from pipelines to integration runtimes. When you want to carry out data ingestions, you need these key components to work together to achieve that purpose. Activities are one of the key components of Azure Data Factory. Now let's delve into these activities. Azure Data Factory has three groupings of activities: data movement activities, data transformation activities, and control activities. So we're going to talk about data movement activities. In my subsequent videos, I will talk about data transformation activities and control activities. Now, under data movement activities, we have copy activities. Under data transformation activities, we have data flow, Azure functions, and so on and so forth. Under control flow activities, we have ForEach activity, lookup activity, get meta activity, etc. So carrying out data ingestion of one table from on-prem server to Azure storage using Azure Data Factory, you need is just copy activity. But if you are migrating multiple tables, you need a combination of lookup activity, ForEach activity, and copy activity. So for multiple tables, you need lookup activity. That's the first activity you need to set up. What will this activity do? Lookup activity will help you to read or look up that record, such as the table name, value from an external source. You use ForEach activity to iterate tables. ForEach activity is similar to ForEach looping structure in programming language. You need copy activity to copy those tables which are being iterated into the storage. These are the ways in which you can carry out pipeline activities. If it's only one table, all you need is just copy activity to copy the table. But when you have multiple tables, you need lookup activity, ForEach activity, and copy activity combined to carry out that data ingestion. I'm going to do a demonstration on this. First of all, I'm going to copy one table using copy activity. Then I'm going to copy multiple tables from the on-prem server. So let's get started. Right here, I'm in Azure portal. This is the resource group I created. Under resource group, I have two resources. I have storage account, ADF Gen 2. I have Data Factory. I click Data Factory, click on Launch Studio, go to Manage tab, click Integration Runtime. As you can see, I have an inbuilt integration runtime, auto-resolve integration runtime. You use this to within the Azure ecosystem. I explained this in my end-to-end data engineering video. So if you have not watched that video, please go back and watch that video. I click on new to create a new integration runtime. For the fact that I'm going to do the copy activity from on-prem server to Azure Data Factory, I'm going to use Azure self-hosted integration runtime. So I click on it, click continue. I rename this, description not necessary. I click create. I choose Express setup. I talked about this in my previous video. As you can see, it's downloading. I click install. As you can see, the thing is running. The self-hosted integration runtime installation is successful. Now that we have completed the self-hosted integration runtime on my machine, a connection and a compute environment have been established between the on-prem server and the Azure cloud. I click close. The self-hosted node is connected to the cloud service. It's running. I'm in Azure Data Factory workspace to copy a single table from the on-prem server. So the first thing I need to do is to create a pipeline. Click on pipeline, rename it. I go to activities search button, type copy, drag copy activity to the workspace, rename this. There are two important things to configure here, the source and the sink. I click on source. First thing I need to do under source is to create a new data set. I click on new, type SQL Server, click on SQL Server. I rename this. Under link service, I'm going to create a new link service. The link service is a connection string. So I click new. I rename this. Description not necessary. Connect via integration runtime. So I use self-hosted integration runtime. My server name. I come over here to get my server name. This is my server name. Database name. I go to my SQL Server again. Copy it. Authentication type. SQL authentication. I put in my username. I put in my password. I leave every other thing as it is. I click test connection. Test connection is successful. I click create. Successfully created. I've created my link service. I select the table I want to copy. Remember, I'm copying only one single table. I select products table. Click OK. I've created my data set. Now that we have created the data set, let's preview the data. That will give us an idea of how the table looks like. As you can see, this is the table. I've completed the source. Let me configure this sink. But before doing that, let me create the container. I go to storage account, click on container, click on this plus sign, name the container, click OK. The container has been created. I go over to my data factory. I'm going to create sync data set. So I click new, ADF Gen 2. I click on it, click continue. I'm going to select Packer. Packer file format is column-based format, which is very fast and easy to retrieve data, unlike the row-based format. Click continue. I rename it. I'm going to create a new link service. I rename it. Description not necessary. I choose auto resolve integration runtime since it's within the Azure ecosystem. Authentication key type. I click account key. I have other options here, but I click account key. Subscription. I have only one subscription. I click on it. Storage account name. I select it. Let me test the connection. I test the connection. Connection successful. I click create. I've created the new link service. Let me select the file path. I browse this. So this is the container I created earlier on. I click on it. That's where the table is going to be stored. I click OK. I've configured the source and the sink. Let me run the pipeline. I have two options here, debug and add trigger. I click on debug to run it. It's running. As you can see, the copy activity is successful. I go over to my storage. This is the container. I click refresh. As you can see, the product table has been copied successfully. That's the way to do a copy activity on a single table. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to copy multiple tables using lookup activity, ForEach activity, and copy activity. That's it for this video. Let's go over to the next video.
If this video is useful to you, please subscribe, share, and hit the like button so that you'll be duly notified whenever I add more videos. Thank you.